Hey, what's up guys? John Cortese here with a video blog question for you. I received an email from, I believe, one of my blog subscribers, and he was talking about, let me grab my computer real quick. Okay, so I'm going to read you this question that Sam sent me, and the subject was training a 12-year-old for football. I'm going to read you the question. It's a little long, but it's going to help a lot of people. Dear John, my name is Sam. I have read several of your articles, and they've provided me with a lot of info. Got a big question to ask of you. I'm going to start training my 12-year-old in a few weeks to increase his general strength and explosiveness acceleration for football. My plan is to start him off with bodyweight exercises, push-ups, band-assisted chin-ups, step-ups on a 12-inch box, stuff like that. He can't do a proper push-up without collapsing or with proper form. It's definitely an area that we need to work on. We will start warming up with jump rope. I will be doing everything he's doing, sort of like a friendly father-son rivalry instead of just yelling orders. It's a good idea, I like that. Now, how would you set up a program using these exercises into a program? Offhand, I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thanks in advance for all your help, Sam. Let me put this down real quick and I'll get right to your question, Sam. Alright. That's a really good question, and I actually get that quite a bit about how to train youth athletes properly. Where to start with that? I would definitely, you're on the right track, Sam, as far as the exercise selection. Sam had listed stuff like medicine ball throws, bodyweight exercises, sled drags, general abdominal work, sprints, jump rope. It's an excellent start. Now, how to combine that into a program for a 12-year-old getting ready for football. Now, Sam, you said your son was about 5'4", 135. Just by saying that, it sounds like he's a little bigger than the average 12-year-old as far as weight goes, or he's pretty much right on track. And you know, from also what you indicated to me, that he has relatively poor upper body strength. Most likely, he's got pretty poor overall body strength, in addition to probably some general areas of tightness. So he's probably got tight hips, tight hamstrings, very immobile shoulders, very round back posture like this. Very common. So you see a lot of athletes, especially when they come to see me, it's a common trait that I see over and over again. And you know, the first day is almost an assessment in itself. I'm kind of rambling off topic here, but just hear me out and it'll all make sense. Feels like something's dropping on me. Oh, it's a bug. So what we need to look at when the young athlete comes in, especially when they're 12, 13, 14, are they strong enough to move their own body? Okay, that's number one. Now, obviously from what you told me, the answer is no. Okay, which is going to be the case with most athletes. Now, I have a lot of athletes that come in that are, my youngest athlete is 10, and we have a group of 10 to 12 and 13-year-olds that all pretty much have the same needs, and that is, number one, body weight strength. Okay. Getting back to your question, Sam, how I would set a program up for a 12-year-old who has relatively poor body strength, very tight hips, tight hamstrings, very weak upper backs, and they have extremely developed, not developed, but tight overuse of the anterior musculature of the upper body. Tight hips, the same thing. Okay. So number one, we need to address those areas. Okay. The first 10 to 15 minutes of the actual workout, when an athlete comes to train with me at my gym here, we're addressing these qualities. So we're addressing hip mobility in the warm-up. We're addressing general strength. We're addressing general core endurance of the abs and low back and the hips. And we're also addressing some more common deficiencies like the hamstrings, very tight ankles. When we say tight, they're lacking mobility. So imagine this is your foot, right? Being able to flex your foot and move it like this. This is a real common issue. We have a lot of kids that are super tight in this area here. This is the front of your shin here, just imagining that. This is dorsiflexion, when you're pulling your foot towards your shin. Really common area or a common problem that you see that kids can't squat properly is because they have limited dorsiflexion, which is, again, pulling your foot towards your shin. This is your shin, this is your foot. Everybody's fine plantar flexing, which is flexing your calf, but we have really poor dorsiflexion of the foot, okay? So that's another thing that we need to address, all right? Common just basic mobility exercises, okay? So, again, rambling off topic, I'm sorry, I apologize, but this is all going to tie together at the end, I promise, okay? So what we need to do is address those areas, okay? So we need to elongate the front, strengthen the back, all right? So how do we do that? A lot of pulling exercises. Stretch the pecs, stretch the shoulder girdle on the front side, okay? And then we elongate, or we strengthen the back side by doing stuff like something simple as band pull-aparts, inverted rows, band-assisted chin-ups, like you said, pull-ups. Anything that's causing the shoulders to move this way, every time you do that, we're trying to fix this posture here, and we're also trying to fix any common deficiencies of the upper back by pulling as opposed to pushing or pushing, okay? Everything needs to work in balance, all right? So that's number one. We need to address common areas of major need of work, all right? Because you can be the strongest kid in the world, you can do a ton of push-ups and sit-ups, but if you're still, showing the common signs and symptoms that I just showed you, it's not going to really translate over to better performance on the field until we fix those areas, okay? So postural issues is number one. Number two, if you have a medicine ball, that's great. They're not necessary, but I would highly recommend getting a medicine ball, especially for a 12 and 13-year-old athlete. I start them off as low as 6 pounds. You can even get a 4-pound ball, a 2-pound ball. They come in a lot of different sizes. I have a 6-pound ball, I have an 8-pound ball, and I have a 10-pound ball, and I have a 12-pound medicine ball. 8 to 10 pounds is probably the ideal range. If you're doing explosive throws, 6 pounds is probably good for a 12-year-old. Because we're not, again, with an explosive throw, we're not looking at the weight of the ball. It's not important. It's the speed and the velocity of the ball that you're trying to move, okay? Just like in a clean and jerk or a jump or a throw or a snatch, we're looking to move the bar or the object as fast as possible. Not really concerned about the amount of weight lifted, especially when they're young. We're looking about how fast can they move the object. So the object is too heavy is if they're struggling with the ball and they can't throw it very far or fast. So if that's the case, drop the weight, start them off really light, all right? Because we need to build confidence, we need to build self-esteem doing these movements over and over again, all right? If we're doing them with poor execution and poor technique and poor form, we're not getting the benefit out of it, okay? Because even young athletes, it's something as basic as a medicine ball squat throw, where we squat, we throw. That's about as simple as it gets, really. But that's still teaching the body to work as one. And if they still can't get it with the ball, basic vertical jumps, basic long jumps, stuff like that, okay? So, what we say, postural issues, number one. Relative body strength and power is number two. Addressing that with medicine balls. Number three, I would set it up in some sort of bodyweight strength training circuit to get their general physical preparedness in, general conditioning, and also going to get their work capacity up. So, as opposed to doing one exercise at a time, like for example the classic 3 sets of 10 squats, rest a minute in between. They're at the age to where they need to keep moving, okay? If his body weight strength is so low that he can't even do a push-up, we need to keep him moving, and we need to either elevate his hands above his feet, or we need to somehow modify it to where he can do full range of motion pressing. A couple ways to do that. You can either put him against a wall. Imagine there's a wall here. Put your hands on the wall, lower your body in control, push away. As we get stronger, you keep moving the feet out. Notice how the angle of the body goes a little bit more like this. You can also, if you have access to it, put your hands on a bench, because where the hands are still above the feet. So it's like kind of like a decline push-up, or an incline push-up, however you want to say it. What we also do here is I set the pins in a power rack somewhere to where they can do full range of motion push-ups. As they get stronger, we lower the pins, You understand what I'm saying? So we lower the pins, and the bar is resting on the pins, so to where they're finally going low enough to get that 4 range of motion. Now, as far as sets and reps goes, any bodyweight movement needs to be practiced over and over with good technique and quality. So, anywhere from 6 to 12, depending on the strength level. 6 to 12 repetitions, right? And again, it varies. It can go anywhere from that, depending on how strong they are. Now, if they get really strong, we can go higher rep sets. Sorry, getting a little loud over here. We can go higher rep sets. We can add weight. We can make the exercise more advanced. But keep it simple. Push-ups, squats, sit-ups, lunges, jumping jacks, vertical jumps, broad jumps, partner hand walking, bear crawls, crab walks, skipping, jump rope, sprints, tire pulls, like you said in your question, Sam. Great exercise to teach proper acceleration angles without really having to do it, without even having to think about it, really. And I'll get to that in another post. But if I would set up a program, so we're getting back to tying this all together. Number 1, we need to address postural issues. Number 2, we need to address relative body strength and power. Number 3, we need to include bodyweight exercises, medicine ball training, basic jumping exercises. Something as basic as jumping up onto a little box, little tiny box. I'm talking like 4 inches, 6 inches, something very small. All right. And we also work on landing technique in here. And I could go on this topic for an hour, but we don't have the time to do that right now. I might address that in a follow-up question if you'd like. But basically, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a great split. You know, again, we need to make some sort of progress every time we train. He's at the age to where he can make some sort of improvement at every session. Okay, he's not strong enough yet to really accumulate any sort of nervous system fatigue or muscular fatigue. Really, he can recover so quickly too that he's young. So novice athletes can make recovery. You know, their ability to recover is so quick because they're at such a young training age. They can recover in 24 hours, 48 hours, and be good to go. And they can add more weight to the bar. I've had athletes in here, 13, 14-year-olds, put nearly 100 pounds in their squat and deadlifts in a little over a month from doing something simple with linear periodization, adding weights to the bar every session. And it's awesome to see what you can do. But they didn't start on that until I saw they were sufficient in their bodyweight movements. We started them with bodyweight squats, push-ups, bodyweight pull-ups, inverted rows. The sky really is the limit, and your imagination is what's going to take you so far in that. So, again, keep it simple, have fun, and Sam, you're going to enjoy doing this type of stuff too because it's great for fat loss, great for general conditioning, great for strength, and it'll help get your joints better. When in doubt, 4 range of motion. Okay, so if you need to use something like, for example, a squat, hold on to a bar or hold on to an object, help him sit back, push up, elevate his hands. If you can't do a pull-up yet, either use a band or do inverted rows. Something as simple as, you may not have access to a climbing rope, but imagine I'm holding onto 2 ropes here, right? Do something as simple as an inverted row, just like that. Modify it, okay? When in doubt, just change the angle of the athlete and always instill confidence, okay? That's number 1. Have fun, make them confident, always keep them fresh too. I keep the sessions 45 minutes at the most for young athletes. Half an hour is about ideal, all right? You get them in and out in a half an hour to 45 minutes, that's all you need. Any more than that, they're going to start to get tired, frustrated. And right now, at the age of 12 especially, we're trying to build an athlete with confidence. We're not trying to destroy them right now. Time and place for that down the road, but right now we need to build confidence through bodyweight training and conditioning, okay? And that's about it. So, I hope that answered your question, Sam. Let me know if you have any more. This is John Cortese, CortesePerformance.com. Take care, guys. See you later.